Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you wanna know about sports, this is where you go. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you wanna know about sports, this is where you go.
First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah.
Yeah.
Back, and we are indeed back. Welcome to number 189. 11 away from 200.
Well, you know what? I probably would figure that we will be at 200 by the finals.
We just might.
Because we have a lot of what's going on. We have the UFL. We got the draft. We got our draft show coming up on Thursday.
And here we go. Will Franklin, you're starting already. That's how you feel? It's 3:35 in the morning. Where are you at? Really? You must be getting ready for work. Anyway, thank you for chiming in. Will Franklin, head of officiating on the A7FL.
Look at this shit here.
Anyhow,
oh baby,
a lot of things happening here in the wide world of sports, and let's just get back to it. We will piggyback. We will piggyback to Saturday night as the run to the Larry O'Brien Trophy officially started on Saturday, and we'll get right to it. The Cavaliers put on a strong performance in the second half to get the first win against the Orlando Magic, 97-83, and Donovan Mitchell came through for the Cavaliers. He led with 30 to lead the Cavaliers to a one-game nothing lead in the playoffs, but the four Cavaliers joined him in double figures. Mobley had 16, Allen had 16, Garland had 14 to complement the Spiders, 30 points. Bonchero had 24. Wagner had 18. Isaac had 10. Suggs had 13. Wagner had 10 off the bench for Orlando. But in the end, strong second-half defense by the Cavaliers gave the Cavaliers the win, 97-83. Both teams really didn't shoot the ball well, but Orlando, you cannot go 19 for 30 at the free throw line and expect to win. That's just
wow.
That's just you're not going to win many games that way. You're just not.
No, you're not at all. They're called free throws for a reason. That's free money, free points.
Yes, that is. Cavaliers control the paint, led on the point in the paint. Led in reboundings, 54 rebounds, 10 of them offensive. Just there you go. They will play in game 2 today, and in that one, and a big boy.
Hey, Mr. Franklin, we appreciate you, man. We definitely do. Thank you.
Okay, I must miss something.
Definitely appreciate it.
Well, next time, Will, if you want to come on the show and talk about why it was so atrocious, give us your feedback on that and let us know.
Yeah, you just missed the recap show for the A7FL, but we will be back next week, most definitely.
So if you'd like to come on and give your take, that's you're more than welcome to.
Sure.
Nonetheless, in game 2, Anthony Edwards gave himself a nice playoff debut for the Timberwolves.
Didn't he?
As he had 33 of them buckets.
Excuse me.
As the T-Wolves' big three was enough to outlast the Suns' big three in a 120-95 win for the Minnesota Timberwolves, getting their first playoff win of this run. Durant had 31, Booker had 18, Beal had 15, O'Neal had 14 off the bench, but Booker really did not shoot the ball well, shot 5 of 18 from the floor. So, I mean, it was a high volume 18 points. I mean, realistically speaking, what more could Kevin Durant do? I mean, Kevin Durant shot the ball well.
Yes, he did.
He was 11 of 17 from the floor, hit both of his threes, had 31. I mean, he definitely came out there to play, but Phoenix that relies on the three-point shot only shot 9 of 32. That is not so good, 32%.
Yeah. You're not winning that. Yeah, you're not winning with that.
I mean, Minnesota only hit 3 more threes, but it was the Timberwolves shooting 50% from the floor to the Suns 44%. But
yeah,
the bench helped big time for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander had 18 off the bench for Minnesota, shot 7 of 12 from the floor. Reed added 12 off the bench for Minnesota to go along with Gobert's double-double. He had 14 points, 16 boards. Karl-Anthony Towns had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And the T-Wolves get their first win of the season. I have often said that playoff Madison Square Garden is very, very special, and it was a fantastic game back and forth between the Sixers and the Knicks. But in the end, too much Josh Hart at the end as the Knickerbockers came back to get the win, 111-104. So what do you think was the difference in this game one between Philly and the Knicks? As I said, Philly came out and played well, had a lead, and then the Knicks went on a run. And, of course, the Garden got hot. And you know how playoff Madison Square Garden can help carry the Knicks. And it did in the end in game one. So give me your feedback on what you thought went wrong for your beloved 76ers in game one against the Knicks at the Mecca.
It was a hell of a game until the referees decided they wanted to be a big factor. The game was tremendous. It went back and forth. And I'm saying that for both teams. And I'm not saying that the calls are going the Sixers' way and, or it was going that they cheated the Sixers on a few calls. No, the referees missed or blew a whistle that shouldn't have been blown. They should have let them grown men play. But Embiid is fucking hurt. And for him to will through game one, I don't know how.
The man still scored 29.
Yeah, because he's a fucking beast.
29.
Fucking beast.
And Tyrese Maxey, my goodness, 33. Shot the ball efficiently, 14 of 26 from the floor, 3 of 9 from 3. I mean, Philly
just imagine if Tobias Harris had a better game. Or Buddy Hield makes a few more of those shots that he normally makes.
Yes.
There was a chance. They could have won that game. But
I mean, heck, Kyle Lowry had 18, and he's really not known for scoring.
Right, you want him for his defense and taking charges. That's what you want.
Yes,
but Tobias Harris has to have a better game. I didn't know that DeAnthony Melton is still hurt. I thought if we had his numbers, his scoring, I think we'll be okay. I hope he comes back in this series. But Tobias Harris has to have a game. Let's just be 100%. Buddy Hield has to make the shots that he's giving. Batum came out and was still lights out from the 3-point shot. Like he picked up where he left off in the play-in game. So he was decent. But we didn't rebound the ball well. It was a lot of offensive rebounds that the Knicks got. And they shot the 3 on those offensive rebounds that they got. So we got to be more aggressive on the rebounds. But we were in the game. I did say my Sixers in 6, but I can kind of see this really going 7. I think we do take game 2. Well, because they did not hang their head low. The interviews that I heard, they were like, we know what we did wrong. And Kelly Oubre had a decent game, but I need him to play a little bit more. He missed a lot of wide open threes. They missed a lot of wide open threes. Let's just keep that. They make a couple more of those. We're in the game more. So I'm not mad, upset, or nervous. I just think that they will adjust. I like what Nick Nurse did because even though when the Knicks did make their run, the Sixers fought back. I think they were down double digits in this game at one point.
They were, yes.
And they fought back, and they did take the lead at one point in the fourth quarter. But it was game one in the Mecca, man. Come on now. What can you say? We wasn't going to steal game one. I think we take game two, though.
Well, you talked about rebounding for the Knicks. The Knicks had 55 total rebounds. And you talk about the Knicks on the offensive glass, they had 23 of them.
So damn near half of their total yes, you know what I'm saying? And that turned into points. So imagine with the Sixers grabbing those rebounds and they're not getting those offensive rebounds and turning those into points.
Well, here's the thing. You talk about that. The Knicks had 27 fast break points to Philly's 11. Even though Philly was good in pointing the paint, the Knicks, as you mentioned, the Knicks had the biggest lead was 14 for the Knicks. Sixers was 13. So yes, it was definitely a game of runs, but at the same time, and Unc is saying you're not giving any credit to what the Knicks did. Your response?
No, I am giving the Knicks credit. They played a hell of a good game of basketball. I'm talking down on my team because me giving them credit by saying they was grabbing the rebounds. My team, he asked me about what my Sixers needed to do. That's the question I answered. But the Brunson was Brunson. He had his moments. He wasn't spectacular. He had his moment, but as my co-host said, Hart was out there playing basketball.
Josh Hart was the difference in this game. The former
basketball.
Okay, he was. Yes. He was the difference. No question about that. He was the difference in the game. Which game 2 is today, since it is officially Monday here on the West Coast. But Knicks get the win, and 3 wins away from a certain team in Los Angeles joining us on the couch to watch these playoff games as the Denver Nuggets.
Wait. Let me say this real quick. Okay. So, I hosted a game night Saturday. So, we had some Laker fans in the house. So the Sixers and Knicks game was on the TV, the big screen. Mm-hmm. The preliminaries for the Garcia and Haney fight was on the small TV. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I warned every Laker fan in here. There was a couple of them. I said, now what's going to happen is you see basketball on the big screen TV. If you're thinking your Lakers are going to be on this TV, you came to the wrong house. The Laker game is going on the small TV, and the boxing event is going on the bigger TV. So if you have a problem with that, then I'm sorry that you came to the wrong house because I refuse to put the Lakers on the big screen knowing that they're going to get their asses whipped. We're going to watch boxing because that's going to be more entertaining than that game. And I did not disappoint or did not lie. And yes, the couple of Laker fans that were here, they were looking at the small TV like this while I'm just sitting here watching boxing like this, like, y'all getting y'all ass whipped. Because you that focused on that TV. That's how bad I know it's going on. Boxing. So let's go ahead and talk about that game. I just had to throw that out there.
114-103 was the final score in the altitude in the city of Mile High as the whole entire starting 5 for the Nuggets was in double figures.
Go figure.
And again, LeBron played well in game 1.
Oh, but he got an injury now. I think it's his elbow, right?
Anthony Davis played well. Okay. Yes. The Lakers had 5 people in double figures.
Well,
however, Hachimura, you need to give him more. Can't have him only shoot the ball 4 times. Okay? D'Angelo Russell scored 13 points, but it was a very high volume 13 points because he did not shoot the ball well. Shot 6 of 20 from the floor.
Ouch.
Yeah. Austin Reeves, who shot the ball well, shot 5 of 9 from the field and 2 of 6 from 3, but did not get enough shots, and he played 37 minutes. Prince gives you 11 off the bench. But again, we go back to the Nuggets. The Joker led the way, 32 points. Murray, 22 points. Porter Jr. And I know Michael Porter Jr. has been dealing with some family stuff, but he came out there 19 points, 8 rebounds. And then, of course, Gordon and Caldwell Pope give you 12 respectively. Now, the Joker?
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that sometimes the Joker doesn't have like a big scoring number, but he will be high on the rebounds and assists?
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's prime time or playoff time, like you said, he scored 32 points. It's almost like when he decides to just
it's playoff Joker. What more can you say? It's playoff Joker.
There it is.
Like they say playoff LeBron. It's playoff Joker. Playoff Joker.
Who?
Playoff Murray.
LeBron. Playoff.
That's what they say. I didn't say that. Well, and then again, he makes up his own nicknames because that's just what. The man made a hologram in his house in the movie talking about you handled the decision to go to Miami very, very, very nicely. I'm like,
and that was a stab at everybody that told him that little piece of shit that he did was bullshit, and nobody cared about all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I will say this.
You better be glad you had Ray Allen.
People want to give him flack for doing the whole decision thing. But what people don't realize is that raised money for the Boys and Girls Club. There's a reason why he did it. Now, again, what I've done a show to talk about.
Leaving Cleveland that made money for the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, it did. That's why that's why he held it there. And not a lot of people talk about that part. They just talk about, well, you made a show decision. Yes, he did make a show about it, but the fact is he raised money for the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, now that I totally forgot it was there, and I didn't know it raised money. So,
well,
still,
like we've always said, LeBron, the humanitarian, the philanthropist.
Oh, spectacular!
Yes, the basketball player.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Now, like I said, that does not take away the fact that he's done some fantastic things because he's done. Like I said, what he did in the 2007 conference finals against the Pistons, where he scored 25 consecutive points, it's one of the greatest things I have ever seen in my life watching a sporting event. I watched that live, and me and Mizzle were going back and forth, texting each other, or heck, we still might have been on Yahoo Messenger saying, bro, this is insane. What am I watching? What am I watching? I mean,
his first game when he played against Sacramento, yes. And he made that I believe it was like a fadeaway 3 in the corner. I'm like, oh.
Like, well.
Oh. I mean, his first game was against the Kings, and he played damn well. He had a few ducks, and I was like, oh. But then again, when ESPN put him on TV when he was in high school,
yes,
I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, when you have Dick Vitale calling your game in high school,
mm-hmm.
that's doing something. But
that's doing it. Yeah. Definitely.
That's doing something. You got something.
You got something.
Yeah, you got Dickie V calling your games in high school. You doing something. But nonetheless, too much Nuggets. Nuggets go up 1-0 in the series. Then we go to Sunday's games, and the Boston Celtics get the win 114-94 as Mr. Tatum got one. He messed around and got a triple-double in game 1.
Now, will it be consistent with him, though? Because, he always has these spectacular games, and we're sitting here like, okay, they look like they're going, and then Tatum will have one of those 4 for 25. It's like, bro, you just went off the other night. What happened?
Yeah. Even though Miami did have 5 in double figures.
Oh.
They did, yeah. Bam had 24 to lead the way. Hero had 11. Hero did not shoot the ball well. So he kind of came back down. Jaquez Jr. shot the ball well, played well, had 16. Wright had 17 off the bench. Now, one thing I noticed
Is that Darrell's right little brother?
that is a good question. Or it could be a son. Delton? Daylon Wright?
Okay, is that it? Okay, is that could be son or little brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. I mean, born in 92, went to college at Utah, born in Los Angeles. Wow, this is his 8th season? Really? Wow. Interesting. But
So that can't be his son. That got to be little brother.
he came off the bench with 17 big ones. Now I will say this: not having Josh Richardson and not having Rozier due to illness, it is not good. Now those two, now if they come back, those two could be a factor for Miami in this series off the bench for sure. Because obviously, as we know, they do not have Jimmy Buckets for this particular series. But again, it's not going to change the fact that the Heat can still pull off this series, and they could possibly come back and win game 2.
Hey, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked.
No, I won't be.
We won't be. I'm just saying the Heat culture is real, and we preach that on every show that we talk about in the basketball season.
Yes, but Boston, 6 in double figures. Tatum at 23, Porzingis 18, White 20, Brown 17, Hauser 12 off the bench, Horford 10 off the bench, and Pritchard contributes 8 off the bench as Boston only went 8 deep in this game and get the win 114-94. Now today, or this game really, really shocked me. The Clippers,
right?
Impressively beat the Mavericks 109-97. And,
right.
And here's another shot.
James Harden had himself a game.
Yeah, James Harden actually.
Go figure.
James Harden actually showed up today for the Clippers.
Well, he will show up in the series once or twice, but when it matters the most, he won't show up. So we'll see how this series goes as it plays out.
You're not wrong. Harden led the way with 28. Zubac had a double-double, 20 and 15. Paul George, 22. Nice. Terrence Mann, 13 off the bench. Westbrook off the bench, gave 13 off the bench. And all this happened with no Kawhi Leonard. Mr. Doncic woke up too early, had 33. Kyrie and Doncic played well. They had mainly half, if you want to say it, of the 97 points. Yeah. Luka had 33. Kyrie had 31. Both shot the ball well. But other than Washington giving 11, you are not getting not getting a lot from everybody else. And the Clippers come out to a 109-97 win, get the first win of the year by 12. And this one is also a shocker. Dame said it was Dame time. Dame threw it off, said, you know what? Let's go.
Well, he only played very well for 2 quarters. Second half, it was no Dame time. He scored 0 points in the second half.
So he scored all of his 35 in one half of basketball.
One half of basketball. He did not score a single point in the second half. Wow. So it was only Dame time for one half of basketball.
Wow. Well, Middleton helped carry the load. He had 23. Brook Lopez 11. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what. People need to start respecting Bobby Portis.
Yes. I agree. I agree with that.
But along with Giannis, Bobby Portis was one of the main key reasons why the Bucks won the championship in the 2021 finals over the Suns. And a lot of people keep forgetting that. He had 15 off the bench. Middleton had 23. Beverly had 5. But it was mainly Middleton in the second half, Dame in the first, as the Bucks get over the Pacers 109-94. The Siakam, fantastic. 36 points, 13 rebounds to lead the Pacers, but really not getting much help as the Bucks take the first one game to none lead. And the game of the playoffs, the Thunder and the Pelicans, was in a dogfight and
tremendous
went back
game
and forth. C.J. McCollum had a chance to win the game for the Pelicans, but his shot came up short, and the Pelicans get the win,
That was a great
94
game.
to 92.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Yeah.
game. SGA had 28 to help top the Pelicans in this particular game. It picked up steam in the second half.
It did.
It was tied in the half. Each team exactly scored the same amount of points in the first and second quarter, but the third and fourth went back and forth, back and forth. Trey Murphy led the way for New Orleans with 21 points. SGA had 28 to lead for the Thunder. Ingram had 12. Murphy had 21. C.J. McCollum had 23 or had 20. Valanciunas 20 rebounds to go with his 13 points.
Ooh.
And he is a free agent. Mike Dunleavy Jr., hello. And that's all I got to say. Holmgren had 15. John Williams had 19. SGA 28. Giddey and Dort had 2 and 6 respectively. And little contributions from the bench, but fantastic game. Now, we said this series here might be the most exciting one in this first round just because of the uncertainty between these two. But they gave us a great game one, 94-92. And on today's slate, we already talked about it. Sixers, Knicks game 2. That's at 4:30 p.m. on TNT. Magic and Cavaliers at 4 p.m. That's on NBA TV. And in the nightcap on TNT, game 2 between the Lakers and the Nuggets. Cavaliers -5.5. Knicks -4.5. Denver -7.5. So
Embiid can make up those 4 points by himself if he's playing, which I think he will be.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And in the Stanley Cup playoffs, as we go back to
here we go
Saturday, 2 games both took place in the East. The Hurricanes beat the New York Islanders by a score of 3-1. Carolina takes the series lead 1-0. And 2 original sixes going at it in the playoffs as the Boston Bruins beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-1. And then yesterday, Sunday, it was the Battle of Florida between the last 2 Eastern Conference champions, the Lightning and the Panthers. Panthers get by in game 1, 3-2 to take the 1-game lead. And like I said, playoff MSG is special because Saturday they have the Knicks. Sunday they turn it from hardwood to ice as the Rangers had their playoff moment as they get by the Great Ovechkin and the Capitals by a final score of 4-1. And there was absolutely no goaltending in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, as the Avalanche and the Jets go back and forth. The Jets getting the win 7-6. Like I said, if you had the over in this game, you definitely cashed out on the ticket with the Avalanche and the Jets. Jets get the win 7-6. And to cap it off on this Sunday, it was the Vancouver Canucks getting the win over the Nashville Predators by a final score of 4-2. So in today's action for the NHL, Game 1 rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights, taking on the Dallas Stars. Ooh. Maple Leafs and Bruins in Game 2. Islanders and Hurricanes in Game 2. And another Game 1 pitting the Wayne Gretzky Bowl, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Edmonton Oilers from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Go Oilers.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Now, really? A professional women's hockey league? Really? Well, heck, I might watch that because, heck, sometimes they play better than the men in hockey.
Indeed. Facts.
Especially Cami Granado, Tony Granado's sister. And if you don't know who Tony Granado is, he's a former Shark. And his sister, Cami, was very, very good also on the ice, helping the USA women win Olympic gold medal way back yonder. Really, I might have to go check that out. Just to see it. But anyhow, there was a fight that took place in Barclays Center, and everybody really, really thought that Devin Haney was really going to give Ryan Garcia the business, because if you looked at Ryan Garcia's video methods and what he's been doing, it looks like, dude, are you focused? Are you training for this
Thought he
fight?
was crazy. Yeah, thought he was crazy.
But, I mean, Mike Tyson said, don't sleep on him. Then we saw the story that was told us at the event about how they saw the slow count. But nonetheless, at the end, being overweight,
Could be champion right now.
Ryan Garcia, who should be champion, but because he came on 3 pounds overweight, did not win. He won the match, but he did not win the title. But that left hook, is special. Because, I mean, we talk about the guys that have great left hooks: Larry Holmes, Tommy Morrison, Evander Holyfield, of course, Tyson with his left hook. And now Andre Ward had a tremendous left hook. I mean, of course, Smoking Joe Frazier lived and died with that left hook. Ask Muhammad Ali in the first fight in 1971 about Joe Frazier's left hook. He got docked a point for that, true enough. But again, here's the thing. In the early part of the fight, Devin Haney was boxing beautifully. And
yes.
And really, at that particular moment in time, he could have finished it if he wanted to.
Yep.
Then round 7 happened, and here came the floodgates, starting with that left hook.
Yep.
And
he let Garcia in. Like you said, he could have ended that fight at any time. But Garcia saw that crack in that door.
Oh, yes.
And once he saw that crack in that door, he kicked that bad boy open. Once you saw the
left hook, and then once Haney got up from the first left hook, you see his legs. His legs were shot, and he was done. And Garcia could have finished them off in round 7.
Yep.
If he didn't do that, if he didn't hit him in the back of his head, or after the ref said break and they broke it, and then he got docked at one point, which allowed Haney to try and collect his marbles, as E40 likes to say. Now, if that didn't happen, Garcia could have finished him in round 7.
Agreed.
But did not. And then again, knocks him down in the 11th, knocks him down on the 10th. I don't know if he knocked him down on the 12th round, but he was knocked down 2 more times. Now, initially, even with the point taken off, I had it at a draw. The 3 knockouts definitely helped Garcia to get back in the fight. And it seemed like I don't know if, from your vantage point, did it seem like that Haney was too afraid to, I guess, not afraid, but just was not willing to engage in the championship rounds? Do you think that? Go ahead.
Your analogy is very spot on, because it seemed like he didn't. I guess he didn't want. I guess he got tired of seeing the left.
Yes.
And he didn't want to. If he made a punch, he didn't want to see that coming, because he didn't have no answer for it.
He did not at all.
It was no answer for it, and I Garcia got the clowning.
Yeah, he got him. Yeah. And I said in my post, Garcia is about to steal this fight. I said, you let him hung around, and he might take this fight and steal it from you. And he did. It was a majority decision. Like I said, one judge had it 112-112. One had it, I think, 115-114. And I forgot the other score on the other judge's scorecard. But nonetheless.
But if those are those numbers, I can live with that. Because it wasn't outrageous. Normally the fights that we see, it's like 120 like the 112. Like, what did you see that I didn't see?
Yeah. What am I missing? And you got 4 rides and only got 2. Like what am I missing?
My goodness. So for those judges to call it that way, yes. If you saw a draw, yes. But if you saw Garcia winning, yes, because Garcia was, man.
Well, like I said, the three knockdowns in 7, 10, and 11 got him back. I think those 3 knockdowns help him win the fight. I do.
100%.
I I really do.
100%. But Haney didn't seem like he was into the fight. It was something that was just off with him.
And let me ask you this. And dadgummit, I really don't want to go there, but did Garcia showing the Diddy pictures, do you think psychologically that messed with Haney?
No. I don't think so. I think Dub, you can answer this question better because I don't know too much about it. But so what's the turning the back rule?
It's okay. Now, if you watch the old Rocky movies, a longtime referee Lou Filippo
For boxing type stuff in that one.
Yeah. He would always say, watch the rapid punches and the kidney blows. Pretty much turning the back rule is almost pretty much like a rapid fight, to which you cannot punch behind the boxer, especially if the boxer is turned around. Like, you just can't do that. And obviously, when Garcia made that hit after they turned and after the referee said break, that led to a 1-point deduction by the referee. But basically, once they start turning around like that, you can't go behind them and start hitting him in the back of the head because, again, that's like a rapid punch. You can't do that. Just like you can't hit them behind the body if you turn around and they're turning. You can't do that. They're going to take a point every time off the scorecards. So now I ask this. What is next for Ryan Garcia? And what is next for one Mr. Devin Haney? Because you can't talk about Tank because Tank would destroy you with his left hook and his left uppercut. So
Are we talking about for Haney?
Talking about for Haney. Yes. I know what I'm saying because a lot of people say, well, Haney should fight Tank. No. Tank will hurt that man.
Didn't Tank already destroy Ryan Garcia?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he'll destroy Haney.
Now,
I don't know. I don't know what's out there.
Some knockout power, yes. Well, some people are asking for perhaps Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. And if that happens, I think Shakur Stevenson.
No, Haney don't want them problems.
No.
Shakur Stevenson is a different type of person. Now, Shakur Stevenson said he wants Garcia.
Yes, he did. He did make that known on Twitter. So, Oscar, Bernard Hopkins, you got one job. Just the one. If that's what the fans want, give the fans what they want. Since
Shakur Stevenson and Garcia.
Yeah. Since Canelo wants to be soft and not give us Benavidez against Canelo, which by the way, Benavidez is co-main eventing a event real soon, and I think it's on the same card as who's on the same card as I just read the doggone thing.
Is Canelo fighting the weekend of Cinco de Mayo? May 4th?
Yes, he is.
May the 4th be with you.
And he's bringing all of Mexico with him, of course.
Well, I'll have a Baby Yoda shirt on that day.
Oh, okay. Now, so David Benavidez is going to fight on the Gervonta Davis undercard.
Oh.
Yeah. So, as we know, on June 15th, Tank Davis will face Frank Martin, and Benavidez will fight Alexander. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this last name. It is spelled Gvozdyk. That's for June 15th. So you will have, I'm pretty sure Tank will have some backing in this corner, but yes, Tank and Benavidez on the same card, and I guarantee you if Benavidez handles business, he's going to call out one Cinnamon Saul Canelo Alvarez. That's almost quite certain. That is.
We should have been at that fight.
You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong, and it really grinds my gears, folks, not seeing the best fighters in the world fight each other, which is a travesty to this sport.
But you know what sucks? I mean, about that is because we were slightly born in the wrong era. We were
We
spoiled.
were. We were.
We've been spoiled with sports in our upbringing, from baseball, basketball, football, hell, even hockey. We didn't seen a lot of things that have spoiled us, and now the stuff that we see now is like, boxers wanted to box each other, the best wanted to fight each other, and now it's like, I don't want to fight you. What do you mean you don't fight? You are the fight. This is what the people want. So yeah, we don't get that no more. So that's a loss. That's a lost art.
You're not wrong on that. Not
Hell,
wrong on that at all.
Mike Tyson tried to fight Lennox Lewis, and I knew Mike Tyson wasn't going to win that fight, but Mike Tyson still took it.
Well, I think in that particular instance, Mike needed money, and he knew he was going to get the money from Lennox, but we all knew that Tyson was not the same guy being focused into that fight because, I mean, if you just watch the press conference and what he said to that reporter, I really believe Mike Tyson would have done that. Basically saying he was going to do him till you love him. I really believe that. Yeah. And plus, like Mike said at the end of the fight, he knew Lewis since they were teenagers, and basically he was doing that to promote the fight. But like I said, we all knew at that time Mike needed money because he was going through some issues. But I mean, if you get those two in their prime, might be a different outcome. Which is why I fully won't give Riddick Bowe his due, because every time the name Lennox Lewis came up, this is what Riddick Bowe did. Ran. The man put the WBC World Heavyweight Championship in a garbage can just because he did not want to fight Lennox Lewis because of what Lennox did to him in the Olympics, as Lennox embarrassed him in the Olympics. Which again,
facts.
If you get beat by the better man, you just tip your cap and say, you know what, I want a rematch and try again. But no, Riddick, like Mitch Bloodgreen said about Mike Tyson, like a sissy a homo, he ran. And again, perfect analogy. Well, they're all taking pictures of the former heavyweights. They separated Lennox and Riddick Bowe because, like I said, Lennox still feels some kind of way for Riddick Bowe ducking him. Because, again, Lennox wanted to fight him at the height of his prime in the heavyweight division, and Riddick would not do it. And then really should have lost to Andrew Galata twice.
Oh, those was whew.
And I mean, those were good fights. Those were absolute
good fights.
And Andrew Galata was hurting Lennox Lewis. But Andrew Galata, unfortunately, had a fascination with Riddick Bowe's nuts and kept hitting them there. Then got disqualified, and then it turned into a big fracas at Madison Square Garden. And you got, Jim Lampley high above in the garden trying to make sense of all this and trying to get to his daughter because his daughter was nearly involved in that melee because Rock Hudson, Lennox Lewis's trainer and promoter, I guess, hit somebody in the head of the phone and all hell broke loose. So, I mean, like I said, it was certainly a different era that we grew up in because, like I said, I mean, we talk about anniversaries, and like recently we talked about the anniversary between Hagler and Hearns, the greatest 8 minutes, the greatest 3 rounds of 8 minutes of fury you'll ever see in your life. And by God, if we were our age now back then, we definitely would have been doing a recap show about those 3 rounds and be like, bruh, what did we see?
Facts.
Because, I mean, you had one of the greatest first rounds in history, and then just to see what happened.
Indeed.
Yes, Hands of Stone, Brooke Lopez, yes. Thank you, Unc. Rock Newman, not Hudson. Of course, Rock Hudson was the famous Hollywood actor that passed away in the 80s. I knew it was Rock something, but yes, thank you, Rock Newman. And to answer your question, Unc, Arez was my original nickname in high school before Dub came about,
Indeed.
which was given to me by the baseball team because I did play junior varsity baseball for 2 seasons in high school, and that was paying homage, I guess, to A-Rod. So they call me Arez. So Arez is my original nickname, which is basically shortened letters of my last name. So that's where the Arez name came from. So I hope that answers the question. But yes, that's a good question. What's next for Garcia? What's next for Haney? Obviously, Haney has to go back to the drawing board and has to learn how to defend that left hook because he was getting hit with that left hook at will by
all night long.
By Ryan
all
Garcia.
night long.
It was almost like Earl Spence getting eaten by the jab of Bud Crawford when they fought. So I mean, it's really interesting to see. Recap in Major League Baseball. As we'll go from there, I still don't know how people are saying that the Giants got robbed. But on the flip side, it's good to see Mike Yastrzemski. He might be starting to find the groove with his bat, and hopefully
he did go deep.
That will lead to some good things. Which unfortunately, well, once again, I would have to watch the game because I don't know how.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
All right, so as Mizzle will go do what he has to do, I will carry for a few minutes, but just to go over the scores real quick in Major League Baseball, Giants and the Diamondbacks split their 4-game series. The Diamondbacks get the win 5-3. Once again, Stephen Vogt continues to do a great job managing the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians get the win over the A's 6-2. The Astros continue to struggle. They're 7-16. They get shut out by the Nationals 6-0. Red Sox beat the Pirates 6-1. The White Sox need some help. They need a lot of help as the Phillies beat the White Sox 8-2. Yankees beat the Rays 5-4. Reds shut out the Angels 3-0. Orioles shut out the Royals 5-0. Tigers beat the Twins 6-1. Brewers shut out St. Louis 2-0. Cubs get the win in the friendly confines of Wrigley over the Marlins beat the Cubs 6-3. Doubleheader day in the Rockies. Rockies get the first game over the Mariners 2-1 and 10, and then the Mariners bounce back to beat the Rockies 10-2 in the second game of the doubleheader. Padres salvage a game against the Blue Jays. They win it 6-3. Rangers beat the Braves on Sunday Night Baseball 6-4, and the Dodgers salvaged the last game of the set against the Mets. The Mets took 2-3. The Dodgers shut them out 10-0. So in the early going in the standings in Major League Baseball, Padres 1 game back of the Dodgers in first place. The NL West, Giants 2.5 back. Diamondbacks a game and a half back. Rockies already 7 games back in the Central. In the East, Braves at 14-6, but the Phillies right on their trail, a game back at 14-8, and the Mets right there 2.5 back with a 12-9 record, with the Nats at 4.5 and the Marlins ringing up the rear at 9.5 games back so far in the East. In the Central, right now it is the Brewers up 2 games on the Cubs, 2.5 on the Reds, 4 on the Pirates, and the Cardinals are 6 back. And in the National League East, Baltimore half game back of the Yankees due to the Yankees having 1 more win in the win column. Boston 2.5 back, Toronto 3 back, and the Braves 3.5. Actually, the National League, the American League East has every team over 500 thus far in Major League Baseball. Yeah, wow would be right. In the Central, Indians have the best record in, dare I say it, not the Indians, the Guardians, I beg your pardon. Get your words together, Doug. Come on.
We understood.
The Cleveland Guardians have the best record in Major League Baseball with a 16-6 record. And again, Stephen Vogt getting the job done. early candidate for manager of the year in the major leagues with the job he's done
Yes.
with the Guardians. Royals also playing some good ball. The Royals are right there at 13-9, 3 games back. Tigers 4 games back at 12-10. And you got the Twins and the White Sox up the rear. And in the West, it's the Rangers up by a half game over the Mariners, 2.5 on the Angels, 3.5 on the A's, and 5 on the Astros. So looking at games today, the Metropolitans, the Mets, make their only trip to town. And yes, the Mets are the baby the Dodgers and Giants had together, and out came the Mets. So Mets and Giants do battle, 3-game set. Diamondbacks on the road. They will finish their season series with the Cardinals as they go to St. Louis. The A's head to the Bronx to take on the Yankees. Gotta be with the A's. Phillies and Reds in Cincinnati. Brewers and Pirates in Pittsburgh. Rays and Tigers in Tampa. Marlins on the road to the Braves. Blue Jays on the road to KC. And the Twins and White Sox will go at it. Padres and the Rockies in the confines of Colorado, and the Orioles will come to Anaheim to round that up. That play starts at 6:30 p.m. But again, just to inform you guys, next week, next Thursday to be exact, if you'd like to be a guest on the Mizzle and Dub Show NFL Draft Special, please get with myself. Please get with Mizzle. But again, we only ask that you wear your team colors, show your team pride, and also please don't be belligerent. And please don't be slurring your words. Please don't do that.
Want to understand you.
Yeah. But we want to have an open forum show, have fans of fan bases, again, wear your team colors as we will talk about the draft, who might come to, which team might come to trade up and try to get in the top 5 and take one of these quarterbacks and or wide receivers and or offensive linemen. So as the chair falls down, doggone it. Well, I guess better the chair falling down than me falling down in the chair like Bret Hart after getting super kicked by Shawn Michaels.
I'll tell you this. If you'd have fell on this damn camera and that was that chair, I'd have literally thought you were Shaquille O'Neal.
Stop it. Stop it.
You set me up, Ernie.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But going to Tuesday's action in the association in the playoffs, as we go back to the NBA real quick before we call it a night. On Tuesday, you'll have Suns Timberwolves Game 2. That's on TNT. Pacers Bucks Game 2, NBA TV. In Game 2 on the nightcap, Clippers Mavericks in Round 1, also on. That is Tuesday night. So again tonight, NBA action, just so you know. Magic Cavaliers, NBA TV, 4 p.m. Sixers Knicks, Game 2 from the Mecca at the Garden, 4:30 p.m. That's on TNT. And the Lakers and the Nuggets at 7 p.m. on TV.
Who cares?
I guess Laker fans care, I guess. I don't know.
They don't know the outcome.
Yes.
They're just having a dream.
On Tuesday on the Stanley Cup, we have Capitals Rangers Game 2, Lightning Panthers Game 2, Avalanche Jets Game 2, and Canucks Predators Game 2. So, again, just to go over the schedule today for NHL Stanley Cup, Knights, Golden Knights and Stars, rematch of last year's conference final. That's at 6:30 on ESPN. Maple Leafs Bruins on ESPN. On ESPN2, you'll have Kings and Oilers on the nightcap and the Islanders.
Go Oilers.
And the Hurricanes. That's at 4:30 p.m. Real quickly, longtime ESPN staple. He had his own show, Stump the Schwab. Passed away. Long time statistician for ESPN passed away a couple of days ago at the age of 63, and former NFL MVP and legendary career at NC State, the great Roman Gabriel, one of the great players in the Los Angeles history of the Rams, passed away at the age of 83. And our prayers definitely go out to those families.
Most definitely.
Of their loss. And also, before we get out of here, wait a minute. Michael Jordan's at NASCAR? Never mind. Anyhow, in UFL action in Week 4, the Battlehawks get the win at home over the Showboats 32-17. Stallions at the Inn remain unbeaten. They're 4-0. They beat the Defenders 20-18. Brahmas beat the Panthers 19-9. And in the battle of Texas winless teams, it'll be the Roughnecks getting the win over the Renegades 17-9. And to preview week 5 of the UFL next week, we'll have the Brahmas and the Renegades. That's on Fox. And the Stallions Roughnecks also on Fox. And then on ESPN at 9, the Defenders against the Battlehawks. And at high noon on Fox, it is the Panthers and the Showboats. And that is your UFL action for the weekend coming up. But nonetheless, we want to, well, actually, before we forget, we'd like to say thank you to our 2 newest subscriptions, because we did start the night at our newest subscription, we did start at 112. We're now up to 113. We appreciate it. We thank you. Tell your friends about us. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to come on the show and talk about a particular subject, just let us know, and we will let you on the air to air out your grievances or just to come on.
Whatever, how you feel.
Whatever, how you feel.
If you want to come on the show to ask us questions, we'll even take that.
Yes. We're always down to be a press conference, and we will not lie to the people. That's what we won't do.
That is a fact.
We won't lie to the people. But nonetheless, we'd like to thank everybody for coming in and watching out and hanging out with us as we gave you 2 shows tonight. We gave you an A7 show, and we gave you a regular Mizzle and Dub show. But the Super Dope Maker, all he does is just continue to make beats and right out. But thank you to all of you for watching us as we did an A's NFL recap, and we recap the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs as playoffs are getting here and getting closer in the NBA and the NHL. Who will win the Larry O'Brien Trophy? Who will take Lord Stanley Cup? You have to watch to find out. But when you do, come check us out, because we will talk about it and dissect it, because you got to give the people what they want. Anyhow,
definitely.
It is nap time for Mizzle, nap time for myself. We enjoy y'all for checking in. Enjoy the start to your week. And as always, it's 5 o'clock some damn where. Thank you for watching. Have a good week. Take care of yourself. God bless. Take care of yourself and each other. And you have been watching episode 189 of the Mizzle and Dub Show.
Well, if you don't hear from us soon, definitely check us for out Thursday. But we might be back depends on how my brother feels. We might be back later on tonight.
But for sure, Thursday, night 1 of the NFL Draft. Open forum show. Wear your team colors. Talk about the draft. Talk about if you were happy with your team's draft pick or not. Thursday. If you want to come on the show, let myself know and wear your team colors, because we will.